Let's go! Oh, we coming up on week number 1-3, the big 13. I'm gonna be real with y'all, okay? Don't have a lot of hype for you, because some people are making the playoffs and others are not. And we've got more for you on that on next week's episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Oh man,
Tune in next
That-
time.
I'm just fucking with you. We'll talk about it all.
dude, they were the fucking worst at doing that Dragon Ball Z. I'd be so into a fucking episode. It's like next week, and I'm like,
Next.
fuck you.
Oh my god, that shit would drive me nuts, dude. Little Brennan just wanting to see that next episode.
Right?
It was the
And then
worst.
you'd have to wait a whole week.
It just meant school's getting closer, man.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's true. Yep.
But yeah, I gotta introduce my co-hosts. We got Josh Rodriguez and Craig
Hello.
Fisher here.
Hey.
So we're gonna break down some headlines for you. Go and start us off, Josh. Do the
Yes,
first
sir.
headline so we can get it over with, okay?
Oh, I was gonna save that for last, but if you want it
Mm,
first, okay, we can do it
Yeah.
first.
Rip the
So,
Band-Aid off.
unfortunately, our boy Bren here is the first one eliminated officially from playoff contention. He is number 10. He is not making the playoffs this year. I'm sorry,
No
buddy.
bueno. No bueno, dude.
I had to break it to you,
Yeah.
in case you were still hoping. There's no shot whatsoever. But you can still play spoiler, so
There we go.
that's up to you if you want to do that.
So I'm the Detroit Lions of our fantasy football league.
Hey, more like
like,
the
well,
Jacksonville Jaguars.
yeah. I was gonna say you have some wins. The Lions don't.
Yeah,
So
I just read an article that Dan Campbell said that he wants the Lions to play like they're the spoilers or something now.
I mean, at this point, you might as well. You're not gonna
Right.
make the playoffs, obviously, but I don't want them to play play spoiler once, maybe twice. Don't lose a top 5 pick.
Oh no, yeah, no. The Lions should want to lose every fucking game from here on out. But
Well, right now, I want them to win one game. That way,
Oh.
they're not the first winless team in the 17-game era.
Who
I
cares?
mean, I know they
Fuck
have
it,
been
lose
tied,
all
but
of them.
lose them all.
Fuck
no,
it.
you can win one and still guarantee the first pick.
At least we'll have our names out there for something. Jeez.
We already have 0-16. You want 0-17 as
I
well?
might as
Fuck
well,
yeah.
man. The back
Now we
back.
can say like nobody can one up us because we
I was
one
gonna
up ourselves.
It's the ultimate. It's the ultimate win.
The
Because
cards
no
in
one
your
else can do any better unless they increase the number of games you can play.
right. Well, you could have like a team like the Browns, so the Browns went 0-16, right? So you could have, and I know the Lions are they would be 0-16-1, but you could have the Browns go 0-17 or do 0-17 twice, where they're like, "Fuck you,
Yeah,
Lions,
there
we're
you go.
worse."
Love how a tie is not considered a loss. What a stupid thing to do in a grown-up sport.
Well, it all depends.
I did like you showing the draft of like what the teams would be picking right now.
Right.
And how the Eagles, the Giants, and who was the third team? The Jets.
The Jets
have like all the first picks.
Yeah, they have 6 of the first 10 picks right now.
Jeez.
Between those 3 teams. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's how like if you're like drawing up a trade, that's how you want it to work out though, like
Yeah.
for the most part. Like if you're a team that's not good, you want the other team to be just as bad to where like that you're getting 2 top 10 picks,
Right.
Like that. If you're the Jets, dude, you're getting 2 top 4 picks, I think it was. Like,
Yeah, that's insane.
That's ridiculous. So yeah, no, that I just thought that was interesting that they all worked out that way. Like Jets, Giants, Eagles. He was like, anybody else want to play this game?
That's hilarious.
So, but all right, we'll go to our next one, which was a penalty on the NFL. Just I don't know if anyone else has noticed that. Just the penalties seem to be out of hand this year, and they just seem to be getting like more dumb and more touchier.
Yep.
Where it's just like it does affect fantasy, obviously. Like holding calls. If you have a run or a pass and then the holding call happens, that play doesn't count. Or pass interference. Like Obviously, if it's a legit pass interference where your player could have caught it and they didn't, like that affects that. But even the pass interference, like you were talking about, Bren, like the ones where the ball's just way underthrown and they call it pass interference on the defensive back because he didn't turn his head around. It's
Yep.
like the ball hit the guy in the back. Like even if the receiver tried to come back to it and the defender stopped, like he's not catching that ball.
Hmm.
Just like the defender can't stop on a dime like that, neither can the offensive player. Like
Right.
so stuff like that is just so annoying because then it also too it just bails the offense out. It's like,
Absolutely.
oh, we're 3rd and 20. Okay, just go deep and I'll throw it short, pretend to come back, and you know what I mean?
Defense
Like,
Yeah.
has to know that though. It goes on both sides of the ball.
right, but when you're running like that, like you're running with your head away from the ball, so like you don't know when it's coming
Sure.
necessarily. You know what I mean? Like,
It's very hard to play cornerback or say it's hard to be guarding any type of receiver out there in the NFL. That's for sure.
right,
Yeah.
yeah,
I think we've
And they
talked
give
about that being one
all
of the
the
hardest
leniency
jobs.
to the person on offense. Like they'll start battling, right? Like I'm okay with calling uh defensive pass interference when it happens.
right.
But like what's crazy to me is you'll see two players going down the field, tussling back and forth, back and forth. They both have their hands on each other and the defender gets called. And it's like the offensive player shouldn't be allowed to put his hands all over him if he's not allowed to do the same. Like
Right,
It's all star
exactly.
power, man. Everybody knows everybody on the offense, and there might be a couple teams that have one superstar on defense that people know, but
yeah.
they
Well,
don't
and
want. There's too much money getting
especially at
involved, man.
corner too. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're not gonna have many superstars at corner
no,
either.
you got
So
yeah. I know what there was Darius Slay and who's the one guy? I don't want to say Lattimore.
Jalen Ramsey.
Ramsey, thank you. But yeah, it's crazy, man. Like they continuously make these penalties more and more every year. They just get worse. And
Well,
Yep.
what's
the other
terrible is
one,
injuries are getting worse. How does that make any sense? You
right?
think like
Right.
injuries would be going down? It's like no, you're making things harder to play, and people are fucking
Right.
killing themselves.
Well, the other penalty too that's just as bad is roughing the passer. Because
Yeah,
like
that's
they
yeah.
made it now where like if the defender is going by and he happens to like graze the helmet of the quarterback, oh, roughing the passer because you touched his head, like to say. It's not
Hmm.
like you freaking bowed him in the head or anything. Like,
I
but
think
then
we're
they'll have.
seeing.
Go
I was
ahead.
thinking we're seeing basically the turn of era where sports gambling is becoming so legal, widely available and legal
Yeah, they
that
want the offense.
they
Yeah.
just they don't want these. It's all a money game, dude. No, everyone makes money when Tom Brady's healthy.
Yep.
Right.
Everyone
Yeah.
makes money when these big stars are healthy in the NFL, and that's why you get the injury report updates. That's why it's a full-time job on 20 different apps because
Yep.
there's
And
so much money invested in it.
nobody enjoys watching that 13-10 game.
No one
You
wants
know.
to see what's that fucking douchebag's name on Seattle that played when what's his face went down. No one wants to see him play.
Oh, what? Oh,
Oh, Geno Smith.
Geno
Geno Smith, what that motherfucker,
Right.
dude?
Smith.
No one wants to
Right. But
see
I
Geno
mean, like,
Smith play.
too, with like that roughing the passer, like they do it where like there's times where the guy will be already tackling the quarterback and he releases the ball, but because he takes the quarterback down to the ground a certain way, they throw a flag. It's like the dude was already tackling him. Like if like what's the difference in if the quarterback still had the ball in his hands? You know what I mean? Like it's just ridiculous because it's like, oh, midair, I'm supposed to realize, oh, he released the ball. Let me quickly jump off of him midair. It's like it's just ridiculous though to see those sometimes because
Bro, I've
it's
gotten a
just
roughing the passer in Madden, and I don't think I've played. Like he threw the ball, and I full on hit stick as he threw, and it's like not roughing the passer. I'm like, what the fuck? That's the whole point I play this game. I'm not playing this anymore. It's fine.
right. That's why I said like Madden every year they're like, oh, the most realistic game is like, no, you didn't make this more realistic. You made it more unrealistic. Like I
Right.
said, their physics are all fucked up in that game. I hate
They
that
are.
game, but I
Yeah,
still
man. I
buy it
think
almost every
NFL's
year.
ran by the owners, man. It's all just one big scheme to get more and more money, more and more and more and more and more money, money,
Yeah,
money.
but unfortunately, we're suckers that love fantasy football, so we bail
Oh
them
yeah,
out with loving the game.
Exactly. Us and millions others who not only there's people who don't even know what fantasy football is, who've been betting money on NFL for years. So
Right. Melanie would be happy if fantasy football went away.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's crazy,
So
man. I agree. NFL fucking ever since Calvin Johnson, ever since I watched him, I just knew the NFL was rigged. So
right. Yeah, that whole
no, man, you can't do that.
process shit.
You can't fucking do that
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, it's funny. So have you ever seen the Uber Eats commercial with Des Bryant when the bag drops and he catches it and he's like, "Oh, that's a catch. I definitely caught that. You can't take that away from me."
I have
And
not.
and Melanie was like, "What does that mean? Like, I don't get it." And so like I explained to her the situation that happened with him in that playoff game. And she's like, "Oh, okay." I could tell she didn't understand, so I showed her it, and she's like, "That wasn't a catch." I was like, "No." I was like, "Apparently not." She's like, "How is that not a catch?" I was like, "I don't know." I was like, "If you find out, let me know."
Right, and you tell me.
He
I've
didn't
been
Right.
pondering
complete
it
the
for
catch.
years.
Like, what the fuck does that even mean?
Yeah.
Caught the ball in the end zone. Fuck out of here.
But no, and then the last headline was I was just going to talk about the Tigers. They're making some splash moves. Just what your guys' opinions were on that.
I'm a little bit on both sides that I've seen in articles. Like the one side of it, think they've made solid business moves,
Mm-hmm.
um, and when you look at it, a lot of times those end up working out pretty good. Like I think, you look at Steve Eisman coming in and being the GM for the Red Wings. He made positive like business moves. He went out and got other teams first round draft picks for cheap
Yep.
because they couldn't find ice time for them, and he's turned some of them into huge fucking turnarounds for the Red Wings, like
Yeah.
Fabry. Um,
Yep.
so I think the Tigers
Borana. Yeah.
could be doing the same thing. They signed that veteran catcher, they signed that one pitcher, and they just went out and got this shortstop. But the catcher and the shortstop both have like under 230 batting average. And
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to baseball, that's extremely scary.
Yeah.
So,
No. Well, and that's the one thing is like catcher's the one position where if you find a catcher that's going to hit like over 240, 250, chances are you found yourself a Hall of Famer. Like
yeah.
that's a notorious position to be low in the batting average. And like as when it comes to Javi, um, like he's a career 270 hitter. Um, and like last year when he got traded from Chicago to the Mets, the final 47 games that he was with the Mets, he hit almost 300.
Okay.
So you could say like, since I mean, I think he's 28, so he's probably been in the league like 4 years, 5 years, something like that, with the
Hmm.
way the MLB system's rigged. Um, so you would say that 230 average last year was just an anomaly. If he's a
Yeah.
career 270 hitter, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And he has the power
He definitely has
that
power. He can hit home
that we
runs,
need.
and I love his
Right,
attitude. The dude has a mouth on him. He loves
right,
to flip the bat at people. I'm all for that. And
right.
he can run the bases, which is something I really saw with the Tigers in this most recent year.
Last year, yep,
Yeah, it was like they were just getting points by just having people just rip through the bases and get home. Like it was
right.
awesome. So
And he's good defensively, which ever since
right,
Iggy left, we needed. Like I don't know how many times last year, just first and second base, I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like the most mundane play, they would mess up multiple times. Like if it happens every once in a while, that's fine. That happens. But
right.
it was like almost like it seemed like every other game that
Yep.
they were doing that. I was just like, man. So no, I forgot who it was. It was one of the '97 won the ticket guys. They said like because how everybody was wanting Correa. But
Hmm.
I guess he was wanting like a Miggy contract, like north of 300 million,
Yes.
and I don't think you could do that when you already had Miggy, even though he's towards the end of it. And so like one of them put it was like they love the player in Korea, but they didn't like the price. But when
Same.
it comes, but when it came to Javi, they really like the player, but they love the price that they got him at,
Right.
And that goes back to what you were saying about a pretty smart business decision.
Exactly.
Like how much of a drop off is it, and is it worth the money that you're saving?
Right.
And I think for the team that we have, like I said, we got that lefty. We're hoping that Mize and Scooble and Manning take a step forward because it sounds like Boyd's not coming back.
Right.
So it's just I think that would go well with what we got going.
Yeah, you
Like you said,
definitely want to save money for that young talent that's still up and coming. You don't want to blow all your money on Carrera and then not have the money to pay Mize, not have the money to pay Torkelson, not
right?
Green. Like all these younger kids. And I prefer keeping the talent you've developed over trying
Exactly.
to score a win in the
Well, yeah, because how long
free
has
agent.
it been since the Tigers have had talent that they developed? Like
Exactly.
even when we were really good for a while, made 2 World Series, we were trading for players. We were signing free agents. We weren't bringing like Verlander was probably one of the only ones,
Right.
one of the big ones that turned into a superstar. But other than that, like Miggy was from a trade.
I was hoping Verlander would come back for a year just to
Yeah,
be
I
with
mean,
Detroit.
I guess right now it's still not ruled out, but I doubt that it's happening.
Oh, okay. I thought he signed the deal with the Astros
Oh,
or whatever.
did he? I didn't see that, so he might
Yeah.
have. I just didn't see it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he accepted their deal.
Gotcha. So yeah, who knows? Maybe after that, maybe if
Yeah,
we're
you
like
never
a
do know.
playoff team, he might come back for 1 year, be like a reliever or
Because he
something.
says he wants to be basically the Tom Brady of baseball. He wants to play till he's 45. So we'll see.
Right. Well, and he's kind of like Tom Brady. He's gotten better with age. Seems like.
Yeah. Oh, he's still phenomenal. And that's why I was like, if he were to come back to the Tigers with this young core that they have, with them going out and getting some pieces, it would be really cool.
Well, yeah, and I think especially when he's older, if he still has the control and stuff, he could easily be like a fifth starter or a long reliever slash, like closer or some shit like that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Right. So, Craig, you got anything on the baseball?
No, I don't really pay attention to baseball. I do like the movie Moneyball though. Brad Pitt's great.
Craig, you don't pay attention to nothing. You don't watch football. You don't pay attention to baseball.
Bryce Young is the future of the NFL. That's all I know. That's all I know.
Not hockey? I thought he was a hockey player. What the hell?
Yeah, who knows?
My fortune cookie lied to me. Damn
Bro,
it.
yeah, sports are expensive to watch and to have. So, if you have sports and you watch it, you're blessed. Go fuck yourself.
That's fair. Well, I was stoked when I signed up because Spectrum was really the only people that serviced out here, and I was stoked to be able to get their cheapest plan, but add the sports package for only $5 a month.
Oh
So
yeah,
that
I'm
gave
sure
me like,
that last. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say that gave me like ESPN, all the like NFL Network, Big Ten Network,
Well, that's nice.
the
It'll probably only last a year, and they're like, oh, that's $80 a month. If you
Now,
want
do
to,
your parents, Craig, have like cable TV still or
it's
no?
funny. My parents haven't had cable television since I was like 5 years old.
Okay, okay.
I used to grow up. That's what I said. We used to watch TV. Like I'd go wake up in the morning, turn to channel 50 or whatever it was. And there was a channel, it was like 6, I don't know, whatever the channel was, where I could watch Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z and shit. It
Okay.
uh-huh.
was back when TV was free, and it
Yeah.
flew through the airwaves for free. Now
Right,
you have
right,
to
right.
pay to access that shit, which is bullshit.
You had to hold the antenna a certain
No,
way, put some
I
tin
don't have
foil
any
on it.
parents or yeah, no, I
You
don't have
don't
any way to
Because
watch the
I
did
game.
still
you
got
say
that, mom that pays for normal cable TV, and so
Shit,
I
man.
just snag
Must
the
be nice.
cred.
there you
Nah, I was
go.
trying to. I mooched off Adele for the longest time, but I
Mhm.
just can't do it anymore because I know Danny does it already, so I can't do it too.
Right, right.
I'm
Mooch
sure.
off of mine, bro.
I think I had yours, but I felt bad. I just feel bad using people's shit. Like I don't know.
Don't be. If
Yeah.
I give you my info, use it.
Yeah, yeah. I did use that one you gave me for a while. I think I actually still have it. Maybe I took it off, but I don't think they have
Yeah.
access to football, does it? That wasn't for football.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
know, like I said, this new package I have has like NFL Network and all that shit. So you
I
could,
love, dude. I love how like it's just so paywalled. Like it's like, oh, you can get ESPN Plus since you have an iPhone and your Verizon. It's just like $3 a month, and you can have ESPN Plus. I'm like, oh, that's sweet. I'll do that. Maybe I'll get some football on that. It's like, yeah, dude, you can watch like Brighton North
Or
versus
just some
versus
MMA.
like Ohio, yeah, like versus Ohio Central. It's like, what the fuck is going on? Who are these people?
right. No, it
Yeah,
is. It is nice, right? Because like right now the Red Wings, since they have hockey on it now, so
yeah,
like they'll have the Red Wings on there a little bit. So that's sometimes nice,
dude.
but like
I thoroughly enjoy watching sports. If we had cable TV, I'd be watching basketball, hockey, football all the time. But like, I can't. I'm not even home enough, man. I watch TV. If I watch TV, I watch TV for like an hour or two, if that,
right.
a night.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
No, that's fair. No, that's totally fair. Like I say, if you wanna, and I
It's
don't
not
know because
fair,
I know.
Josh. Tell my wife to get me TV.
Okay, I'll next time I see her when we
Tell
go
her.
get your cupcakes that I owe you.
Right.
Although I play you next week, so we gotta like double or nothing or something.
No, I
I
just want
Well,
gotta,
cupcakes. I'm not too
I
happy with my football team.
gotta try to get out of that, Craig. So, but no, all right. You guys got any other headlines or anything? I know you guys said no. I just didn't know if you thought of anything.
no hot headlines, dude. You covered
All
them
right, let's get into some of these playoff scenarios, eh?
for sure.
All right, so I guess first I'll start with so Dan and Mac are the two that are really like are desperate for a playoff scenario. So for both of them, so for Dan, because he has a good points for total. Like he's beating a lot of I don't know, he's like fourth or something in points for. Um, so he has to win both of his games and one of the three 6-6 teams to lose both of their games. So like I think Funk is one of them, which Funk is actually interesting. If Funk were to lose both of his games and Dan were to win both of his, their points for is only separated by a point one, I think it is. So they're like super close if it came down to that. But Nate is 6-6, so if he lost both of his, Dan has like a 200 point advantage over Nate. And then who's the other one?
Justin.
Justin. Yeah, he has like a 50 point advantage over Justin, something like that. So if any of them lose out and he wins out, he has a shot to make it. Mac is the same way. He has to win out and a 6-6 team to lose both games. But he has to. So Nate, he has the points lead on Nate. So if Nate were to lose both games, he would just have to keep that point lead, which I think he has like 100 point lead on Nate. I still don't know how Nate's like a 6-6, man. The guy has like 200 points less than everyone else. That shit's crazy.
He's a sneaky boy.
But if Justin were to lose both his games and Mac wins both, he has to outscore Justin total over the next 2 weeks by 40.03. And then Funk, he would have to outscore by 85.8 to make the playoffs. So the interesting thing is though, is Dan and Mac play each other week 14. So one of them's definitely not making the playoffs.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah. So that matchup. Now, if either of them lose, like if they both lose this week, they're both out. Like they can't lose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they have to win both games. They can't lose a game. So that's for them to get in. If Funk, Justin, or Nate, or all three win a game, either of the last two games, then they're in. So all they got, even if Dan and or Mac won both their games, if those three win a game in the next 2 weeks, they win. They're in anyways.
Magic number is 7, boys.
Yep,
7
pretty
gets into the
much.
playoffs.
Maybe 6. Who knows?
I think it's funny how, like, I think Dan, out of everybody in the league, I think if there was a way to calculate bench scoring,
Like he could easily be undefeated this year if he would play certain bench players, and I just cracks me up. Every week, everyone sometimes has one or two maybe one person going off on their bench or something, but like Dan's like
Dan
2 or
usually
3 every fucking week. There's 2 or 3 people putting up like 80 points total. It's
right.
like 70 points on your bench, dude.
Well, so I'm interested. Where do you guys fall in the argument? Because like I talked with Dan earlier, and he brought up a good point, and I don't know how I feel about it. About like because like that he has a lot of points for, but he also has a lot of points against, which is why he's 4-8. But then you got someone like Nate who's got the least points for by a wide margin, but also the least points against, and he's 6-6. So like, I just
Rick,
don't know. Like, do you have sympathy for like
none.
say like
None.
Dan? Okay,
None.
because
Fuck
Vin
you're on
him.
Diesel, bro. Vin Diesel.
right. So
Yeah.
you're on the
I'll pull the clip up and I'll play it over the podcast.
Doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile.
Winnie's
right.
Winnie.
You just got to beat who you beat or who you play, right? That's
Yeah,
all
No
it
one
is.
cares if you put up fucking 80, fucking 300 points a week. If someone's putting up 305, you don't mean shit.
Right. That's why
Right,
we've
yeah.
always, shat on Justin for being like, I had the most points for the
Justin
last
and
3
Shane.
years.
Yeah, they're
Who
consistently.
cares?
Yeah,
Well, that's
do it when it
Shane too
matters.
now.
Do it when it
That's
matters.
Shane too now. So
Yes.
I mean, it's funny and to make fun of it because it's obviously
Sure.
it's so random too. I mean, you can do so much research and you can have an edge on a lot of people in different ways. But at the end of the day, you can have a
it's
team.
a random
You can
sport.
have
though.
you can have a Eckler, Taylor, fucking Brady, all these people on your team. You'll put up fucking 80 points. So
Right. It's why you hear left and right people winning their league when they auto drafted.
right.
Like it just like Craig was saying, at the end of the day, it comes down to quite a bit of luck.
I mean,
Right,
there's luck involved, is what it
Yeah.
is. I mean, you can make plays, but like, yeah, I think it's just
I think it's truly 50-50. Like you got to put in the work and do some of the research and stuff, but then
Yeah.
it's also
sure.
like Craig
I
said,
get that.
luck is involved too. Because like you said, you could do all the have all the best players, but
Yeah.
it doesn't. You can't predict injuries. You can't predict how a team's gonna mesh. You can't.
I might
all
put
that
it a
stuff.
little higher than 50% because there are metrics, obviously, that you can use. That have a majority, like majority of the time, will come true.
Right. Well, I mean, how many times though, especially like this year, have we had like where the metrics say perfect example, the Bills versus the Jaguars.
Sure, the
How
Bills.
many times did you? How many times? How many
Overrated
times did the
offense. I wish someone
metrics
said
say
that at the start
that
of the
was
year.
going to be 9-6 games with 0 touchdowns scored?
Yeah, it
And
would be like, but if you ran that game like 10 times, how many times would that happen? Like,
right. No, but that's my point though. Is like you could do all these metrics and stuff, but those random times do happen.
100%.
Like and they happen especially this year, quite frequently. So it's like. It's just crazy. That's why I said it's like 50-50 because I don't know how, like, you could say, oh, this person has the most perfect matchup. And then how many times has that person not done shit,
Yep.
Or vice versa. You thought the person had a horrible matchup and then like Leonard Fournette. I was actually scared about that matchup because Indy was really good against running backs this year. And then he goes out and puts up 40 points.
I think if you look at it, I bet you there's more of like a percentage on how much a player will suck based on like their status. I bet you there's probably like, this is just complete random, just making this up. But I bet you there's like 10 to 25 players in the NFL that you can guarantee like will have like 90% of the time be effective, put up.
Right.
And then there's like a huge pool, like there's probably a smaller pool of like, 80 guys that might do like 5 to 15 points, just depending, probably like 75% chance. I'm sure if you look at it, I mean, there's probably a lot more. We just need access to the software, boys.
Yeah, but even that
we need
though,
to get in there and be Watson. I want to be Watson.
We need to be
even
Watson.
that though, you can't even tell that until like halfway through the year because like going into the year, you probably thought someone like Allen Robinson, like every year besides this year, he's been one of the most steady Eddie players, and then this year he just could, you go into the year thinking that like I'll draft him because he's going to be a solid RB or wide receiver 1 or a really good wide receiver 2, and he
Yep.
ends up being waiver wire trash.
That's what's funny is you wouldn't know until the end of the year. Yeah, you wouldn't get that number
Right.
year. But
Or,
like you can
how
play
many
off it. Like Leonard Fournette. We can look at him and we can be like, oh, the dude gets every look at the end zone when they get down there. So like statistically speaking, he should be doing all right. But
right, but that would only really be useful for the playoffs because like that too though you could have someone that balls out for half the year and then the second half of the year they blow and aren't anywhere near that or vice versa. You know what I mean? To where it can
Yeah.
be very
once you add human error into it, it's just like you're betting on a guy who just you don't know, like you said.
right, and then because too you also have that factor of injury that can happen at any time.
That's
Like,
kind of
it's
the
very
beauty, though. That's the beauty of the fantasy. That's why it's the trading and there's so many tools you can use to
Yeah.
try
Right.
to.
That's
something like
why I keep trying to tell people trade early. Like I know it sucks, but
It
you're
does suck.
not gonna
See, when you're me, I've
you're
gotten
not gonna
twice. I'm mad.
you're right. You're not going to win a championship with the team that you drafted. You're going to have to make changes, whether it's because of an injury, whether it's because of whatever,
I think
a person not performing like you thought. Like, you're not going to win a team with the team that you drafted.
I think Funk could
mean-
argue that 3 times, right? Didn't he fucking basically win 3 times with his drafted?
Yeah, but
fucking
Funk
team?
also, like, some of those years got lucky with a couple waiver wire pickups, and I think he
Still,
did
it's
make like
3
a trade or
fucking
two.
times. He didn't do
Yeah.
any trades.
Well, no, but still, that's not like his exact team. It's not like he didn't do anything. He still made pickups and stuff like that. Like, you got to do something. Can't forget to play waivers, Bren. Every night.
Whoa,
Jeez.
whoa, whoa. Shots fired
Personal
over there,
attack,
okay?
dude.
I'll tell you who I'm picking up on waivers tonight, Brent. So you can go pick him up, and I'll trade him to you.
Good.
Okay,
I'm
you can
still-
trade
Yeah.
him to me. We can collude like a motherfucker.
Bro,
Except I wouldn't trade him to you, so they're mine.
Oh no, bastard! Sorry, drop Saquon. It's okay.
right? Yeah, no,
So,
there's
all
definitely
right.
there's a lot of luck involved in fantasy. It's you like you said, it's if there wasn't luck involved, you couldn't gamble on it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I
Well,
play
right,
gamble.
because and right now for our league, Nate's the perfect example. Like, how many times can someone have the least points against by a wide or least points for by a wide margin and still be 6-6?
Dude, I feel like that happens every year. There's one team just getting cupcake after cupcake, just eating.
Right. Well, dude, this year it's crazy. Like, because of a hamstring after playing one quarter, like it's just been an insane year. Obviously, like
Can you believe
I don't
Christian
even
McCaffrey's
know.
gone again? Like, is he even gonna get drafted by anyone next year? Like, what the fuck?
He'll get drafted. I don't know. He's definitely not going to be the number 1 pick, though.
Right.
That's for sure. I mean, it also depends who's keeping who, and we got to
Yeah,
for
I don't know if
sure.
we're doing that, dude. We need to figure that out. I don't know if we're doing that. Keeper league is nothing like we discussed.
Like we thought, yeah.
We discussed so many things up north, and it's not a single thing like it.
Well, right. That's why we got to
there was no
see.
research done into the app we're using and how it's going to work. So it's gonna
Right, we
we need
gotta-
to bring that up because it's not gonna necessarily. I don't want to say be fair because we're all subject to it, but at the same time, it's not what we agreed to. So
Yeah.
Right.
it's like saying,
Yeah.
"Yeah, we'll have cake at the end of the year." Like, here, eat your fucking vegetables, you pussy. It's like I don't want what. Fuck
Well,
you.
right, because like how many? There's not going to be very many players that people are going to keep where they lose a first round pick. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
I think if it was brought to the attention of the group at the start of the year with the exact way it would work out, I don't think it would have passed. I
Correct.
don't think it
Right.
would be like, oh yeah, let's do that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because it's not even complicated. It's stupid the way they fucking do it. We need to get a new. I'm definitely voting for a new fantasy football app next year. There's a couple I got in mind.
Yeah, we could try them. I really don't want to use Yahoo or
Not Yahoo. No.
not Yahoo. That one sucks.
No, there's a couple actually like specific fantasy football ones that are pretty good.
Yeah, there's like Sleeper. There's
Sleeper's good.
Underdog.
Yep.
Yeah, I like tangled with. I got us off track here, but just real quick, like Sleeper, dude, that one you can get crazy with
That's
like
what I'm
your
saying,
league settings
dude.
and shit.
Sleeper's sick. We need to look at the. I do. I was. That's the one I was going to bring up. So I'm excited.
But at the same time, it doesn't really matter because our league doesn't want to make like it too crazy of a league. Like we didn't even want to change to 3 wide receiver.
We're just starting to kind of dip our toes into the sexual waters that is fantasy football. So
Right.
now we're about to pull them out again because we're getting raped because it's cold water. We don't want this
Right.
water. We want it warm.
So, but anyways, I got us off track. I'm sorry. That was my fault. So let's go to some of the seeding scenarios here. And like I said, I did kind of, it's just like a general one because there's a lot of the seeding where it's like, oh, if you beat these 3 people in points, you get this one, or if you beat these 2, but not this one. You know what I mean? So like, I just did like kind of like they could finish anywhere from this spot to this spot type of thing. So for Shane, all he has to do is win a game, one of his last 2 games, and he locks up the number 1 seed. And then for Barber, he has to win to lock up the number 2 seed. He has to win one more game and keep the point advantage that he has over me. And he locks up the number 2 seed. Because remember, for our league, the number 2 seed goes to the winner of the other division. It doesn't go based on record. But Barber still has a shot at the number 1 seed. So he has to win his last 2 games. Shane has to lose. And he has to outscore Shane in those 2 games by basically 185 points. So
Easy money.
easy money.
If Shane loses twice and he wins twice, doesn't he automatically get it? He'll be 10 wins to 9.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
If Shane
So,
wins 1 and Barber wins 2,
Barber
then he
wins
has to
out.
score like
Yeah.
200 fucking points. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think that's what I meant to write. But
Yeah.
yes, you're right. You're right, Craig. If Shane loses out and Barber wins out, that's what happens. But Barber, I think, if he loses out, I didn't put this down, but he could fall all the way to the 4th seed, I think.
Yeah, probably. There's 2 of us at 7, so yeah.
4th seed, yeah.
Yeah.
Because all this, yeah. And then, so obviously those 2 are already in. I'm already in. I could finish anywhere between the 2nd seed or the 7th seed. Craig, you're already in. You could finish anywhere between the 3rd seed and the 7th seed.
I
Funk.
could finish first. If Shane loses out, I win out. Barber wins 1, and I score 1 billion points. I can do it.
I was about to say, yeah, you just have to cover.
Sorry, I know you weren't trying to get crazy. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, I mean technically you're right. I just don't blame. I don't have faith in you. I technically could.
You could also
get the
first
seed
as
well.
Yeah.
This is very unlikely considering I'm like 50 points behind you, and
I'll just
you're
channel
like,
my inner P-Funk.
Right. How crazy? How embarrassing would that be if Shane didn't get 1st seed? Like all this trash talk he's been talking, all these points he's been scoring, and he doesn't get the 1st seed. That'd be embarrassing.
I mean, his confidence has been through the roof. I would love to see him pummel into
right?
It has been, right?
I would love to see him.
I loved how defensive he got earlier. Like I said nothing about like, oh, you're gonna lose to Mac and all this stuff. Like, I just said it's possible now because he lost. It's still a possibility he could not have the number 1 seed. And he's like, oh, how am I not going to beat Mac? I got this and that. I'm like, dude, that's not what I was saying.
I get it. I get it. I'm one of the most defensive people on the planet. Don't talk about my fantasy team.
I was gonna say I could get extremely defensive too.
We're all very competitive. So.
No, yeah. It's definitely like for me it's certain things. Like some things I'm like, whatever, but then there's other things for some reason it's like the dumbest thing and it just triggers me.
Emmanuel Sanders could be top 15 this year.
Okay, I was wrong about that. Back off. Jeez.
Hey guys, I wanted it in
Hey, who was right about Devontae Smith and Antonio Gibson, huh?
Yeah, you were. I was. Guess what? Antonio Gibson just fell in the end zone. What's his face? What's his face? Not McLaurin. The backup
McKissick.
had all the fucking. McKissick was the one balling out.
McKissick had just as many points as Gibson, and McKissick scored 2 touchdowns. So
That's what I'm saying. Like, well, Gibson, I think, didn't he go out early?
yeah, but see, you gotta be consistent, correct? Because your argument
Yeah, your
last week
argument was that he would fall into the end zone to get those
right.
points.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess if the second running back gets injured and then he gets all the volume, then
Late in the
gonna do
third
better.
quarter or whatever it was.
No,
Either
it's
way, it
late
don't
in the third,
matter.
it's the same thing. It's like an
It
extra. You
don't
got like
matter.
10 rushes and like 4 passes.
It
Of
don't
course, it's gonna
matter.
boost his. It does matter. It's volume.
No, it
Volume's
doesn't.
is way better than scoring in some situations.
Exactly. He's getting volume. Last week he got volume and he fell in the end zone twice and he used
Hey,
that against him.
what does his points look like though? If oh my god, I can't
He's
remember
healthy
his
now.
name.
McKissick.
What's his score look right if McKissick stays healthy and plays that entire quarter? Especially if they're leading. You think they're gonna have Gibson out there? No. Fucking
if they're leading, yes, they're gonna have Gibson out there. Why would they have their pass catching?
He's the number one back. They have the backup out there, dude. They're gonna be if anything, get him to the third down, the third guy.
Well, it depends how much they're leading by. If they're leading by like 30, yeah.
Well, all I'm saying is Gibson's
they're not
score is
even gonna have
looking a
McKissick
lot
out
different if what's his face doesn't get injured. I forgot his name again.
Dude, all right. Well, I'm not telling you again. So
Damn it. I need it. But dude, no, Gibson played well, but I mean that's literally because what's his face got hurt, dude. He wasn't getting all that volume. Now he's gonna be a volume king, dude. He's gonna get like fucking
was getting all that volume. Would he not have would he gotten like what did he get? 36 touches? Would he have had that
29 rushes and 7 passes.
Right, which is 36 catches or touches. Would he have gotten that if McKissick didn't get hurt? Maybe not, but he still would have got like 20. He still would have got 20 touches. That's what he had last week.
That's fucking sad. That's 16 less touches. You know how much you can do with 16 touches? You're telling me that doesn't mean anything? There's running back people are starting in the league that get 16 touches and that's it. Of course, that's going to make a huge difference in his score.
Right, dude, but you know how much is 20 touches a game?
That's a lot.
Shit ton.
Yeah,
exactly. So
you're more onto that.
Right, but he still was. Never mind. We're arguing about something stupid. Like we always do.
Classic.
I just say volume's volume. I mean, one day it might be 20, one day it might be 16. I mean, that's all I'm saying. Like, so anyways,
dude, Gibson balled out. I'm super up. I heard that. I'm like, oh man, poor Nate. Poor Nate. Did he play Gibson? I didn't even look at his lineup. Did he end up sticking with?
No, I think he had Smith, but it didn't matter. He won, so.
Oh, that good point. I still felt bad because I told Dan to play. Dude, I was listening to some. Just real quick, I was listening to some analysts as well that Cam Newton was like right up there as one of the starting quarterbacks. I think it was like top 12 maybe quarterbacks to start last week.
Yeah,
and he shit the bed. So you know what? Analytically speaking, I wasn't far off. So.
Well, see, that one's a hard one because like the Dolphins, that's one of the ones where like the first half of the year they sucked, but then the last like 3-4 weeks their defense has been balling. The Dolphins,
yeah,
and then Cam, he had the bad game last week, but did he? Yeah, did he have a bad game last week or did he have a good game?
He had one good game within the last week or two. I don't know. But
yeah, because so
to play.
So 2 weeks ago, so last week he stunk it up this past week, and then the week before that he was good. He at least did good for fantasy.
Right.
To where it's like you kind of gotta like, do you trust that Miami's defense is still gonna ball out like that? To where you're like, I'm not gonna play Cam Newton, or do you think that Cam Newton's talent, like to say, supersedes that? You know what I mean? To where that one's a little tougher. It's not like he was going against like Buffalo, where Buffalo's been dominant all year. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So that's one where it's like you're kind of towing a line right there and shit. But I mean, I still would have played, and I mean, I said this even before things worked out the way they did, but I still would have played Dak over Cam. But at the same time, it didn't really matter because if you played Dak over Cam, I still would have won. So
I think both the top receivers are out. Who saw that coming? No one saw that shit coming.
Right, yeah. So, but yeah, so anyways, Funk, he can either miss the playoffs or finish as high as the number 2 seed, which is crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, he could still technically beat Barber. Like if he wins out, Barber loses out, I either win one game or lose out. he has more points than both of us right now, so he could finish as the he could win our division and be the 2 seed. So that's kind of I did when I was doing that I was like, damn, that's actually kind of crazy. I didn't think about that. Of course Funk is actually still in it both ways to either miss the playoffs or fucking win the division. That fucker.
That's without Derrick Henry too.
Right, without Derrick Henry, without fucking I know he still has Daryl Henderson.
Yeah.
But fucking
Darrell
yeah.
Henderson.
Yeah, so Justin, he can either miss the playoffs or finish as high as the 3 seed. So because he can
Miss
still
the
fit
playoffs. Miss the
miss the
playoffs. I know what I'm rooting for.
Yeah.
Nate
He
can
he
miss
uh he sent me another trade for Saquon and I insta declined it. Get the fuck out of here.
I was gonna
See,
say,
that's
don't
one
trade you now that you're out, dude. I was gonna
right.
reach you today
Bren
too.
can't trade, yeah. Bren can't trade. We're gonna have to send that in the group chat after we're done with this. That no one tried to trade Brent because that is
I was
tradition.
gonna try. I'm gonna try. I was trying to trade one of those other 2 lower teams that may or may not make it.
Well, yeah, see, that's still possible because they are still technically in it. So you
Yeah,
could,
they're in contention.
yeah, you could still do that.
Then
I
I
was
realized
thinking
it's
that
Dan
too.
and Mac, and they don't ever want to trade with me. So
Well, do you want to trade Dan? Do you really want
actually,
to
Dan
help?
traded me already, and Mac would trade me. Also, earlier, I just want to put it on record. I've currently been raped twice this year. I'm not happy about it. And that's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, the first time, shame on you.
Yeah,
The second time, what is it? Fool me once or whatever.
fool
I
me
don't
once, shame
fucking
on
know.
you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah. No.
And
All I'm
The
saying,
rape is your fault, is what I'm saying.
yeah,
right. All I'm saying is the first time it
You
was
should
rape.
have
The
seen what
second
you're
time he
wearing.
did it for enjoyment. Second,
you're right. You're right.
first time you were curious. The second time you liked it.
Not happy.
Uh,
Wish I just
that-
didn't. Yeah, this is a great example of if I didn't trade anybody, I would be having a much better team right now. But that's okay. I'll move past it and hopefully be victorious.
That's
There
fair,
you
but as
go.
long as you make the playoffs, that's what those players do in the playoffs, you know.
Correct.
So
I'm definitely not
Nate,
worried at all.
Nate can either miss the playoffs or he can also finish as high as the 3 seed. He's very unlikely though because of his points 4. So, but like if Justin only wins 1 game, if you lose out, Craig, and he wins out, he could finish as high as. So that'd be the only way where points won't really matter.
I am
For
rooting
him.
for Nate because me and him we were out of it last year, so I'm rooting for Nate to make the playoffs.
Yeah, and then Dan can either miss the playoffs or finish as high as the 6 seed, and Matt can miss the playoffs or finish as high as the 6 seed. So
Okay.
those are how the playoffs are shaping up right now. Enough other than Bren not making the playoffs, nothing else has been set in stone so far. There's like
Well,
likely scenarios, but nothing that's too crazy right now. Too set
I
in
mean,
stone. We'll know more after this year or after this week because let's see, we got Shane versus Mac. Bren, are you gonna play spoiler to Dan and knock him out?
Dude, it's a potential, dude.
It
What?
might be
What? I missed it. What'd you say?
Bren knocking Dan out.
Yeah,
Because
I'm
if
gonna beat
Bren beats Dan this week, yeah.
Bro, that would feel good, right? You should do that.
I plan
It'd
on
feel
it.
good for Bren, but you know how pissed Dan's gonna be?
Dan apparently already deleted his phone off his app or app off his phone. So,
His phone off his app.
yeah. So
That's true.
he's like, yeah.
That's true. He did. So he's not even gonna set a lineup.
I will say it feels good to be in the playoffs this year. I was really the last year was the first year I ever missed them, and it didn't feel good.
Right. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I would like somewhat for Dan to miss just so that he can't use the "I've never missed the playoffs" ha 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 on anyone ever again.
There you
But
go. That'd be
at the
good.
same time, if Dan misses the playoffs, that means another group from the champion group, another player from the champion group misses the playoffs. And
Hey, it
we
was
can't have.
rebuilding season, okay?
Y'all
That's
jerking each
right.
other off over there in that fucking thing. Jeez.
Well, no, how I like to see it is because we're so tough competition up here, you know.
Right? We ended up hurting ourselves.
Right,
We should have been
exactly.
feeding off those kitty table bottom feeding
Yeah, that's
bitches.
probably
Right.
what happened. Way to twist it, boys. Snake tongue
Hey, that's what
bitches.
you gotta do, man. That's what you gotta do. So, all right, we want to get into these matchups.
Sure.
All right, we will start with Justin and myself.
Ooh.
Well, what was the records last week? What happened?
Oh, yeah. I always forget to do that shit. Thanks for reminding me. So not gonna lie, I thought I saved it. I didn't. So I had to real quick before go back and listen to the podcast and get all the picks again.
Okay.
So
Wow, that's
if I got something wrong, let me know. But I'm pretty sure, Bren, you went 2 and 3.
Son of a bitch.
I'm pretty sure I went 2 and 3. Ike and Craig went 3 and 2.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I went 5-0.
No, that I know you definitely didn't.
Go back and check that.
I definitely know you didn't.
Nah, 3 and 2 sounds right. Yeah.
So that puts Brent at 27-33, me at 28-32, Craig at 29-31, and Ike at 28-32. So
Dog is so good.
I know Craig's got a 1-game lead on Ike and I, and a 2-game lead on Brent. So or 2-pick lead, whatever. So yeah. Anyways, let's go to myself versus Justin for our first matchup.
All right.
And I will say, I am not going to have Evan Ingram as my tight end. I will change him out. I'm going to try to get Dawson Knox.
They put some Dawson Knox in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get Dawson Knox.
Dawson Dog.
So I don't know if that changes your guys' opinion or not, but I'm going myself. I actually like my chances this week, especially if I get Kamara or Ingram back, which sounds like I'm getting at least one of them, if not both of them, back to where I could play Kamara and then have Fournette since Swift's injured.
I'm gonna take Justin because Alexander Madison's gonna score 30 against Detroit. Gaskins at the Giants will probably do pretty well. I don't think Antonio Brown's gonna play, brother. Chase Claypool.
No, this was his.
Johnson. Go either
Yeah,
way.
I might not play Brown. I
don't think
gotta
Brown's gonna play this
decide on
week.
that.
Kyle
No, they
Pitts.
said this is his targeted week to come back. So I mean, I guess that doesn't guarantee he's going to come back, but
Right.
either
Kyle
way,
Pitts against Dawson Knox is probably relatively a toss-up. I've heard they're going to start targeting Kyle Pitts more, but who really knows? That's been the talk.
yeah. I mean, it only took
start of
him
the year.
13 weeks to realize
Right.
he's a generational talent, right?
Right?
Why would they target him at all before?
Why would you
Well,
target the guy you drafted
right.
before any other tight end's been drafted?
Right, he drafted
before?
number 4 overall, but week 13 is when we're going to start targeting you. Don't worry.
It'll be interesting to see who he plugs into his flex and who he grabs off the waiver wire this week. I'm not sure where he sits. I'm assuming he's sitting lower than me, and I'm 8, so there's some options out there. But yeah, I think he's got you in a couple areas. I like his matchups better. I don't know if, like you said, if Kamara, Ingram even play. If they do, which one do you play?
Well, if they both play, you play Kamara. You don't.
Well, I don't think. Oh yeah, it's just you don't with the injuries. You just don't know what's going to happen.
Well, I mean that's where it's because Mark Ingram's been a full participant in practice this week, so he's gonna play.
I will say OBJ is looking pretty good over there with the Rams with what's his face being out. So that's nice to see. But I'm gonna take Justin.
Okay, who you going, Bren?
Josh. Because
yeah,
he's gonna miss the playoffs.
Playoffs.
Playoffs. Miss them.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yep. I mean, Ike went Justin as well, so he's sleeping out on the balcony tonight.
Make that dog redo that pick.
Start painting, dog.
Ugh.
But no, I mean, he has good matchups, but I feel like I have some good matchups too. Like I said, I don't know if I'm playing Brown just because his first game back, if he is back, and then I don't know if I want to, in this type of game against Atlanta, I don't know if I want to play both Fournette and Brown, where I think that game would be more of a Fournette game. You know what I mean?
You might want to. I didn't even realize that, bro. You might want to trade Brown ASAP.
I mean, that's one of those offenses though where you don't mind having two pieces of it. You know what I mean?
Not at all.
Like,
Yeah, Antonio Brown will get some deep balls, and Fournette will just get goal line touches.
right.
The worst. You're
Because
right.
I mean, like, I'm not counting on Fournette to get 40 every week, but I feel even with a fully healthy
That's a ceiling,
lineup
bro.
that he gets like
It's got a great
12
ceiling.
to 15. Yeah, he's got a great floor too. I feel like. I mean,
Oh yeah, definitely.
dude gets
I
like
think
6 catches a game.
Mac put his fist right through a 2x4 after he saw Fournette put up 40.
What, dude? Clearly, someone who doesn't listen to the podcast because we fucking sucked Fournette's dick with how much goal line work he was getting. Like, I don't know why anyone would have traded him. Like for someone like Waller, who's been struggling, who was still not gonna lie, fourth tight end of the year, but still.
Well, he hasn't really been struggling. He just hasn't like been booming like he would in the years past. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
he was for the
Still got
most.
targets.
didn't
He was
he?
still,
Yeah, he was still getting me like 8 to 10 points a week, but he just only had 2 touchdowns on the year, and he did have like one, or I think like 2 really sucky weeks where he got like 3 points. But other than that, he was getting like I said, like 7 to 10 points a week, and just didn't have any of those like 30-point weeks like he had a couple times the years prior. So that was kind of the difference because, like you say, he's still was tight end like 4 on the
He
year
is
or
tight end
whatever.
4 currently. I don't know about this week.
Yeah, and he's missed a couple games too. That's the crazy thing. Like but yeah, I mean, just Claypool and John. Like, we have a lot riding on 2 games, really. A lot riding on that Pittsburgh Baltimore game, and then we have a lot riding in the New England Buffalo game. So it's going to be interesting, that's for sure. But yeah, so we're split on that. We got 2 people picking me, 2 people picking Justin. So let's go to the next one, which is Funk versus Barber.
ooh, this is a tough matchup right here. I'm gonna go with Funk, dude. I think he's riding a hot hand.
You going Funk?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who you going, Craig?
Barber,
Nice.
Joe Mixon, baby.
Oh, mix it, baby.
Aaron
I
Rodgers is
also-
out. I wonder who's going to play a quarterback this week. So I see a full healthy squad minus Kyler Murray, who should play this week though. So full healthy squad versus. I mean, yeah, P Funk, he's got some ballers, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm going Barber as well. Ike went Funk.
Yeah.
can we talk about
Yeah,
Rob
I mean-
Gronkowski, please?
Dude, that guy's a beast.
A beast.
Fucking beast. I tried to give P Funk hand jobs. I tried to give him everything for that guy. He wouldn't budge. Comes back 10 then 15. Fuck me. If I could have just sucked that dick a little harder, I would have had that on.
Yeah, you needed to fucking gargle the juice and
I wasn't doing it well enough. He's a
waddle
hard
the
man to
balls or
please.
something. I
Oh,
don't know.
God, I'd be so elite if I had that fucking tight end that I should have picked up week 1 on the waivers, and I'm like, no one will pick him up. Fuck.
No one will grab him.
all.
Well, it looks like he's probably going to play Cousins. Funk is at Detroit.
Yeah.
He has
There you
Cousins, so
go.
that's a good.
Captain Kirk,
And
baby.
and that's a stack with Jefferson, obviously.
That's not bad.
It really comes down to as well, like Barber, what he gets from Mike Williams and Pittman. because those two have really been kind of hit or miss this year. Boom or bust. So
Yeah.
if they have their bust week, but Chase, I heard he's been wide receiver like 40 over the last like 5 weeks or something like that. Like he's averaging like 30. I don't think he's had a game over like 40 yards and more than like 4 catches in the last 5 weeks, something like that. So
Cincinnati
he's
in general has been struggling.
right, and and with the Chargers too, they allow a lot of. They're like the worst rushing defense, but one of the best passing defenses. So and and Barber has Joe Mixon, who gets 40 carries a game. It seems like. So, but yeah, it'll be interesting if Funk puts in Hopkins or if Hopkins even plays. Because I'm sure if he does, Funk will probably put Hopkins in. So that'll kind of add an extra element. But yeah, Tampa Bay against Atlanta, that's a big positive. Dallas against New Orleans, that's interesting because if they are, New Orleans might be switching to Taysom Hill at quarterback. He's been taking all the first team reps. So I wonder if that changes that offense a little bit. If Trevor Simeon starts again, I like Dallas against that. And we'll see if, Carlson puts up 21 again like he did last week.
Patterson's ripping it up again as well.
Right? Yeah, you got Patterson back. So I'm going to go with the Boone side of Barber, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if Funk won this one either. I think that'll probably be a good matchup, honestly.
Same.
So
Let's just pray that both Joe Mixon and Henderson go down this week with season-long sustained injuries, and I have both their backups. Let's pray.
Well, you can only play 3 of them.
Yeah, but I can gloat and hold one over someone's head.
You can. Defense,
I can get Rob
baby.
Gronkowski. Oh my God, let's have it. Henderson's going down, baby.
I will say though, we should change the deadline where it's like sooner instead of at the end of the year. Like we should change it where it's like now.
The trade deadline?
Yeah, the trade deadline.
Why?
I don't know. I just think it's kind of,
Scared?
it makes it no, I'm not scared. I just think it makes it a little more, I'm trying to think of the right word for
now
it.
is the most pivotal time in these teams' existence to make a move to try to save their season, and you want to take that away from them earlier?
Right, but how often is that going to happen this time of year, though?
It doesn't matter as long as it's there and available to take advantage of. That's what's important.
Right, but you should like this, that's what I'm saying though. This is where you should be able to use your managerial skills. Be skilled and be able to do waiver wire and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. You should already have major trades by now. Like, I don't know I just don't understand what trades you would make now that you couldn't make before. Barring an injury, but that's part of the game.
Change every week. Yeah, that's why it's fun. Like I said, what if Henderson?
Well, right. So then why not have the trade deadline going through the playoffs?
Fine with that.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Okay, let's set it up for next year.
I think it's just the clear shady shit we got to stay away from.
I look at it this way: like if I'm playing Madden, it's one of the first settings I turn off. Trade deadline. Fuck that. I want to trade when I want to fucking trade.
Yeah. It's a game. Fair. Thank you.
That's fair. So, but that's what I mean. I feel like we should either put it back or just move it throughout the playoffs.
Yeah.
And obviously keep it. And obviously keep it like if someone's out of the playoffs, you can't trade them or you can't pick up anyone they drop. Because I could see someone doing some shady shit like that. Like, oh, oops, I dropped Patrick Mahomes even though I'm out of the playoffs.
No one's going to let that happen. But I do think it's important to have, I like where the deadline's at, and I think it's important to have the deadline because having the deadline does put pressure on some of the teams who might need to make a trade to kind of get it done.
Yeah. Well, right. So why wouldn't you do it earlier? Because those teams aren't going to do much now. Like it was a miracle that Mac made the trade.
The same reason you don't want to draft earlier in the year, Josh. Because that's the same reason every year we draft on my fucking anniversary week. Because
It has to be done that week because if it's
we've had
people might get injured and people will be so unhappy if people get injured in preseason. Like we got
yeah, but see that's where it's different though because you're drafting at the beginning of the season where you still have 17 weeks left to do it. Like where now you only have 3 weeks left and then you can't trade anyway. So like right now you should have your lineup where you want it pretty much. And
Or an
you should have your backups to your backups though. You should have all your bases covered around this time right now. Is what I'm saying. So like I don't know. I just think because like I
I've
said,
got my 3 defenses for the playoffs. I'm ready to go.
right?
So
That's what I mean. Like
what happens this week
you
if you go out and 4 of your stars get injured, Josh?
that's already happened to me. Like,
I know, but what if it happens? You're saying now is the time that you need to have your backups to your backs and stuff. Like, what if?
Well,
you go
okay, but if I get 4 starters injured, who the hell am I trading, Craig? No one's going to take an injured player.
Maybe if it's an
No
injury
one-
that's only like 2 or 3 weeks and you need to get a win. I mean, you're looking at it from
But
one
I don't need
perspective.
to get a win.
That's what I'm saying. You're looking at it from your perspective. It'd be great if the trade deadline right now just went away because you don't need. But like,
right, but the teams right
realistically,
now that need wins should already have made trades because these teams have needed wins the past like 3 weeks to not be in the position that they're in. That's why Mac did his.
The trade
That's all I'm
deadline
saying.
is more for like people trading that shouldn't be trading.
Right, and that's what I mean. It eliminates the collusion factor. Like, and I know we haven't had that hasn't been a problem since who was it?
the collusion factor where there's not as close knit.
Great collusion of 09.
There's been so many great collusion
No,
years.
Beal. Who was it? Beal. He traded someone like
Beal? Yeah, that was like back in fucking.
No, I know. That's why I said like we haven't had it since then. But
Right.
I don't even know if that was collusion. I think that was just
Beal didn't know what
stupidity.
to do.
Honestly, yeah, exactly. So but that's what I mean. It eliminates the possibility of that pretty much. Like that's all I'm saying. That's how I feel. Either it should be extended throughout the playoffs, or it should be moved back to make it more challenging. I guess that's all it is.
See, you guys always use that word to try to. It's not more challenging. It's just less fun. It's literally
How's
like
it less fun?
it's the waiver wire situation all over again. It's just an
No, it's
opinion
not.
You take away something, it's not more fun. Like, the more
I'm not
tools you
taking
have-
it away. I'm not taking it away. I'm moving it back.
You're taking it away sooner, right?
Yeah, it gets taken away eventually.
Just like you have, instead of having all the waiver wires, you have taking away sooner. You're just changing the words. It's less fun. We should open it up more. I like Bren's idea. Take away the trade deadline.
Okay, that's fine. That's like I said, you either take away the trade deadline or you move it back. Is how I feel.
Sure.
You move, and then I'm not saying you have to move it back to week 4. Like you don't have to do that.
Sounds like something we got to bring up to vote on.
Yeah,
Right,
boy, we got another topic for the bash.
The bash.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like the last month of the season, you shouldn't be able to trade because I think like part of it is we keep bitching about, and I'm not saying this as the league keeps bitching, but like we keep talking about on the podcast about how people need to be more active trading and stuff. But when you can trade throughout the entire season, all the way up until the thing, it doesn't put pressure on them to be active like that. You know what I mean? Where if you say, hey, the last month of the season, you're not going to be able to make a trade, it might put pressure on them to do that and put pressure on you to make a move and stuff like that. So
I don't. It's a good point, but I'm gonna go on a limb and say even that won't make people fucking trade more because everyone has too big of a difference on what people.
then why don't we just get rid of the trade deadline at all? Like you can't trade. You can't trade.
To be honest, I think for the first 5 years of the league, I didn't realize there was a trade deadline. So
That's fair. That's because nobody traded.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even think if you had an earlier deadline, it would be like people wouldn't be like, oh. I mean, it might. Don't get me wrong. The possibility is 100% there. You make a good point. I don't know.
Right.
I like the way.
No.
I think
It's definitely something to bring up. That's for sure.
I think there's only a certain amount of people who take advantage of it, and I think
and like I said,
deadline is still fun, but later, I don't know. It's just relative.
Yeah, I mean, at least I think it's kind of stupid to trade in the playoffs because, especially the further you get in the playoffs, who you can trade with. Like, if I'm in the championship against you, Craig, I don't want to trade you anyone.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like it's like it kind of would be
So,
stupid.
that's kind of the thing. Like right now, I guess is what like you have all these people that are so close that like Dan's not going to want to. Well, okay, that's a bad example because if he already deleted the app, he gave up. But so, like, say, like Funk, who's 6-6, he's not going to want to trade like Justin, who's 6-6 as well, and
They
could
might.
possibly make. I mean, it would have to be some type of crazy deal,
I
but
mean, look what you did to Mac, right? Like, I personally thought you had the good end of the deal, but Mac thought he had a great end of the deal, right? You both
right,
traded. You both thought you made your teams better. Waller got hurt.
right. But I
You
guess
came
my
out on
point
top
is
of that.
how much has that happened in the past 3 years or whatever? You know what I mean? Like that's a once in a million time. And he probably, if the deadline was sooner, he probably would have made that deal sooner if I had offered it to him. Like, so, and he might have done more
He
than
might
that.
have not
Or
made that deal sooner because of
he might not have.
the way
But
people
at the same
perform.
time, like I said, I just feel it bails people out, you know, having the deadline later. Like I said, I just feel the last month of the season, you should use your managerial skills to pick people up and or before that to make your roster where you want it to be to make that championship run. That's all. That's just how I feel. I mean, it's a personal opinion. That's it.
We'll allow it.
Well,
Allow
I
you to have
accept your
that personal
feelings.
opinion.
Yeah,
I
and
accept your
I will use
feelings.
my I'm their champion, so what I say goes.
Damn it.
Anyways, so
Son of a bitch, he got us
He
again.
got us
I
again.
got all right. Craig versus Nate. Sorry, Craig. I'm going Nate.
I really don't give a fuck. I'm already in the playoffs. I'm just hoping. You know what's funny is like I wish like it was possible to bench my players and they wouldn't play in real life so they could just stay healthy for the playoffs. I'm going to go
Craig Fisher bench Zeke. We can't play
right.
him this
Oh, I
week,
guess he
guys.
couldn't play this week. Yeah, healthy baby. I'm gonna go for myself. Russell Wilson has been a shell of his former self. He will probably get right, but I don't know when he will get right. Antonio Gibson will probably ball out. You know what we previously said, he's gonna have a huge volume increase. Melvin Gordon is Mr. Consistent, but I think Zeke will hopefully. I mean, the injury. It's a whole back and forth on whether Zeke's actually what's gonna happen with him. It sounds like he's gonna play,
Right.
but no one really actually knows. If Zeke plays, I think I can easily match Gordon. And Najee Harris's volume, I think, is very similar to Antonio Gibson's, and they both probably have the same type of ceiling floor. You know what I'm saying? Those kind of wash out. I think Tom Brady's gonna be better than Russell Wilson. Brandon Cooks over Keenan Allen. The Colts play pretty good defense, so I'm gonna go with Keenan Allen at Cincinnati. It'll probably be a chucking fest. Marquise Brown at Pittsburgh is rough, but Hunter Renfrow scares me. That whole offense scares me, to be completely honest. So I don't know about that. And the way Marquise Brown's been playing, that could go either way.
Yeah.
Hawkinson and Ertz, same thing, kind of a gamble toss up on if the quarterback. I think if Kyler Murray plays, I'm gonna have a much better chance beating him at tight end. Our flexes are gonna probably wash out no matter who I play. I like my defense versus Chicago. Jacksonville can score, even though the Rams are pretty good. And I'm going to change my kicker this week. I don't know who, but it ain't going to be Pittsburgh, which will land me a victory.
There you go. Bren, who you taking?
I'm gonna go Craig.
Ooh. So Ike went Craig as well. So I'm the only one going out on a limb here, taking Nate. All right, let's go. Bren versus Dan. Let's go.
Chip.
Let's go, Bren. Let's see. Are you gonna eliminate Dan? Team spoiler. I like it.
Coming for you, baby.
Dan re-downloads his app, opens it, is like, this motherfucker. He's trying to spoil it.
Trying to spoil me.
Oh, yeah, he's got it rough with having to play Stevenson at his second running back spot. Cleveland versus Las Vegas. I mean, Thielen against Detroit. I gotta go Dan, but in my heart, I hope Bren wins.
Yeah.
But I'm picking Dan.
In your heart of hearts.
But Ike picked you, so that's why I picked Dan,
Yes.
because I knew you like Ike's pick better.
Yes, I do. Dog knows
Who,
who to pick, dude.
Bren, who you going? Yourself?
I'm going myself this week.
Let's
I'm
go.
almost. Well, yeah, I almost have my full team except Cream Hunt's on a bye this week. So
Right. Are you gonna put CD Lamb in if he plays?
yeah, of course. I always start my
Nice.
studs, even though it's
There
not
you
paid
go.
off this year.
You were in a
Uh,
tough spot, that's for sure.
but
Greg, who you going?
Brent.
Nice. Very nice. So I'm the only one on Dan. That sounded wrong. I'm the only one picking Dan.
no, I like that.
All right, and then the final one is Shane versus Mac. Does Shane knock Mac out? I'm saying yes, he will. I am picking Shane to win, even though he might not have Cooper, even though he doesn't have Debo. I still think no McCaffrey hurts. No Waller probably hurts. Who knows if he'll take out Sanders or not? I told you he's going to keep that boy in, just like he would Tyler Boyd. You know. I wonder if he's going to put. I'd put Tony Pollard in if I was him. Tony Pollard's probably going to ball, especially if they do limit Zeke at all.
Right?
So
You know, I offered him
yeah.
a trade for Tony Pollard, and I don't. If he takes it, it might help his chances of winning. But at the same time,
Like
don't
I
know.
said, I don't know because it sounds like he already gave up. So
And that's that's just bullshit. See, this is exactly what I'm saying. Dude, we ain't got no deadline. I offered him a great trade to fucking plug in to get a win this week to stay in the running, and he better fucking reply. That's all I know.
we should have like a setting where like you just push like, do you give up? Yes or no? And then if you push yes, you're locked out. You can't make any moves. You can't make any trades. Nothing. You just
Dan
your
would hit
team is
that
stagnant.
button fucking 4 weeks in.
And that sucks.
Right? Oh, Shane
That
fucking
sucks because
put up 200 against me. I'm done.
then that all that means as well that it's an automatic loss for you. So even if your team balls out, it's an automatic loss. So knowing Dan, he would hit it 4 weeks in.
Let's say the amount of emotional men in this group, I would not promote that at all. A lot of emotional men.
It would teach
Wow.
you to
We're all
you
fucking
know,
so
A
emotional.
lot of pussies
you.
in this group. Let me
Yeah.
fucking tell you that much.
Yeah.
I don't ever delete the app though.
Like, bro, I offered him. I had two trades. The weaker of the two was Alex Collins and Noah Fant for Tony Pollard. The other one was Noah Fant and Brandon Ayuk for Tony Pollard. The second one's
Ooh.
really good.
Yeah, I probably would have taken that second one.
Yeah, dude. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't take. I don't know if he's looked at it yet. I don't know if he's hunting or what. I mean, he better take that shit because that's huge. And I want to lock in Tony Pollard just in
Right.
case.
Well, it has to be accepted early tomorrow.
Yeah, they play on
They play on
Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah, they play Thursday, so
Mhm.
that has to be accepted.
I
Otherwise,
know. Well, he
um,
can still accept it.
Have you
And
sent him a
oh no,
text?
Tony Pollard won't go through. That's right. What?
Well, yeah, it'll.
Have
It'll
you
just go through
sent
next
Mac
week.
a text message?
No, I don't talk to people. I don't like send people messages and try to talk to them when I trade with them. It's just weird.
Sure. I
Well,
just imagine he isn't looking at like his notifications on his app versus
Probably.
text, 'cause
Yeah.
yeah,
I
I
know,
would
like
just
for
send
me,
them.
like I didn't look at a single one of the other scores over the weekend. Like I
Right.
saw how bad my team was doing, and I shut my phone off to it and just went back to living my life. So if Mac's in that same boat, I could see where he's not looking at the app and seeing the notification.
All right, I'll shoot him a
See,
text.
there's like 3 people like Mac, Funk, and Nate. I feel like are those people that live their life regardless of fantasy football.
Yeah.
Like
Give two
it's like
fucks.
Funk is always hunting, and Shane's like, "Oh, what's the score? I don't know." Like, you know what I mean? Like, sets his
Yeah.
lineup like Saturday night at 3 a.m. or some shit like that.
For
Like,
sure.
doesn't play waivers, and it's like, "Oh, well, I'll just wait and play waivers on
Picks
Friday
up
instead."
random people and they always score touchdowns.
Right, exactly. So it's like, so maybe we all should live that way sometimes, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't got much of a life to do that. Like, I don't hunt. I don't, especially during COVID, it was like I couldn't do any of the other stuff I would want to. Like, so, Craig, who you going?
This is so. I'm kind of upset. I want to pick Mac, but he literally has 2 players on his roster right now that can't start. I want him to accept my trade. If he accepts my trade, I'm picking Mac. Because I don't want to pick Shane. Mainly because I think it's just funny. I feel like Stafford's gonna go out and just have a goose egg because I love it when Shane can't pick a QB. So I want Shane. I just want Stafford to go out. I think Jonathan Taylor's gonna be a baller. Robinson at the Rams could easily get shut down. Godwin's, lottery ticket. Jalen Waddle has been consistent. I don't know if Parker comes back this week or next week. They haven't designated him back yet. Never mind. Waddle's been all right. Kelsey's been, dude. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna pick Shane, but like if Mac takes my trade or makes another trade to do something with his lineup, then I'm gonna pick Mac because he's still got Cooper Kupp, Patrick Mahomes. He's got Josh Jacobs, DK Metcalf. Like I said, if Russell Wilson gets right, I'm picking Mac. I'm gonna put faith in Mac.
I know. I was
I have
kind of
none.
thinking that
I'm
too,
going
because
Shane.
like, I mean, I'm still going
And if he
Shane,
takes my
but
trade and puts Fant in and puts like Ayuk in at flex, like that's huge. Like that's gonna be way better. And when he can plug in Williams, or he can find maybe he's probably medium, probably get a
I'll
waiver
bet
wire
you
pick this week.
$10 right now he leaves McCaffrey in.
No way, no way,
my chances are better with McCaffrey
right?
than Javonte Williams. I mean, we got to think too. Like, there's some good like running back waiver claims that could be made if
Yeah, but I don't think he's
if
sitting
he.
high. And no, he's 4-8. He's probably top 4,
No,
top 5.
he's top 3 right now. He's out, I think, or he's top 4 at least.
He's top 4. Yeah, so he could definitely pick up a running back. I don't know if it
Yeah,
helps
see,
him.
he's last in your guys' division, so he's second.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's second.
Yeah, so he could easily get a run. I would just hate for T. I just would hate to see him run Dallas, go there, and run Tony
I mean,
Pollard.
he was running him all year, so go there. So
That's
never
just
got
hurt
it.
him.
I mean, look at what
I mean,
Waller did. Waller hurt him too.
yeah, or you see poor guy can't get a
Literally
break
when
tight
getting
end.
hurt.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna pick Mac just because I think Shane's got he's gonna get smacked in the face by the fantasy gods. That's all I know. It started
I
with
know.
Debo, and it's not ending there.
I think it would Barber's the complete opposite of Shane. Like, Shane's getting all cocky and like talking
Hubris.
talking his stuff, whatever, and probably gonna make another baby because he's all cocky,
Yeah.
But then you got Barber, who's just not saying shit, like all humble and shit, like, oh yeah, like blah blah blah, like. So I feel like the gods are gonna favor Barber and give him the 1
I'm
seed.
sure Barber's talking mad shit at work. We just
Oh,
don't get to
100%.
hear
We
it.
don't get
Like, I just joined this fucking league. I'm about to clean them out. They all fucking suck.
it.
If
Like,
this happens again, though, if this is Funk all over, where he goes on like a 3-4 year run, I quit this league.
I'm
I'm done.
fucking done.
I'm done. I'm hitting that
You'll
quit
never
button.
see my name in a fantasy league ever again.
He's already garnered. Yeah, if he comes in here and takes like $380 from me in 3 years, I'm done as well. Well, he's already garnered the favor of the gods of having Joe Mixon. So
True.
Right, that's true. And he's a ginger, so.
Yep.
that's what I'm saying.
It's
Gotta
the
hedge up.
perfect combo.
And then I keep praying to the gods for Shane's whole team to get COVID, just to watch him lose his mind.
Right.
Oh, that'd be. I've actually like. There's been times,
And they're
and you
all
may hear this.
asymptomatic or something too. Like, what the shit is going on?
There's been times like he's gonna hear this and be like, "What a dick, Josh." But there's been times where like I'll see like some like especially one of his players that oh Cooper's out because of COVID. I'll be like, "Hey Shane, your player's out because of COVID," just to poke the bear. But
just to fuel that fire. I love
yeah,
it.
I'll give him a lot of credit. He's been a good sport about it, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, so,
Yeah, no, we.
but like just to poke the bear a little bit, just to be a butthead. But, all
Gotta have
right,
some
boys.
fun with them.
Yeah, so that's it.